Hi, fourth and fifth graders. This week you are going to have three different options, as you can see from the document. And one of the options is to use your cell phone to take some photographs of some of the elements of art. So I don't know if you can recall back on the back wall in the art room, I have several posters up and there's a little sign hanging next to some of them. And there's some of the elements of art. So you have line, color, and shape, and value, and we're going to call that light and shadow. So the elements of art I want you to make photography about are color, shape, line, light, and shadow. So your photographs should embody or symbolize those different elements that artists make art about. Some of them might end up having two of the elements of art, and others might be much more about just one of them, color, for example. So what you may have noticed on the document under option 2 for photography is I've listed my example of color, my example of shape, my example of line, my example of light and shadow, so that you would be able to see more closely what those look like. I also have them here. So this one is my example of a photograph that's about color. Just some things I have in my house that I thought were colorful. I like the black and white striped fabric next to the more colorful fabric. So that's an example of what a photograph about color might look like. This is my example of what a photograph about shape might look like. The rectangles, the circles really dominate the theme of this photograph. So that's what a photograph about shape might look like. This photograph is, we've talked about value a little bit. This photograph is about the light and the shadow. This is in my kitchen window with the light shining through and casting these really dark shadows. So there's very light parts of this picture, very shadowed parts of this picture. So this one is about light and shadow or value. And then this picture is the one that I chose for line. I noticed that my cat's whiskers looked like lines, and I loved how they were kind of stuck in her fur. So this is my example of a photograph about line. If you want to get a closer look at those, again, I've attached those to the document so you can look to look at them for longer and kind of examine them a little bit more. I'm asking for no people and no faces. Pets are fine, but I can share the pictures easier if they're not of people. And I think that'll challenge you too to really dig around and look around in your house for those different ideas of color, shape, line, light, and shadow. So that's 4 photographs in all that I'm asking for you for this assignment. I would love for you to email them to me so that I can take a look at them and see what you've come up with. One good way to see your world in a different way, and kids do this anyway, they often sit on the floor or play on the floor. That's a good way to get a different perspective. Thinking about where are your windows. Sometimes it's best to take a picture in the morning or in the evening. There's better light in the morning and in the evening than in the middle of the day. Certainly, if it's okay with your parents, you could take pictures outdoors, but you have to get permission for that first. And see what you can come up with. And I really look forward to seeing your ideas of these color, shape, line, light, and shadow. Thanks, guys. Bye.